Go. All right, and we are live. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday, everybody, and happy last day of Q1. Holy moly, how did we get here?
I don't know.
Welcome, welcome. You guys, I'm so excited. Today I have with me Angela Pitta. She is the CEO of LiveWire Collaborative, and we are going to round out our month of talking about women building audiences with Angela, who is like the goat of LinkedIn and building audiences. Angela, you are the CEO of LiveWire Collaborative, but tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So I call myself the accidental entrepreneur. I actually was campaigning here in this. I live in the city of Newton in Massachusetts, and I found myself thinking, "Oh my God, how am I going to knock doors, 90,000 plus doors?" And then I remembered Obama, was that timeline, and they're like, "Oh, they use Facebook, so let me use Facebook."
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
how I sort of got started. So with the social media, I started doing that and initially working with local campaigns, but then eventually I found myself thinking, wait a minute, this is really for businesses, for nonprofits. They really need to use this. So in 2012, I officially launched LiveWire Collaborative.
Love it.
And so I work with larger nonprofits as well as mid-sized companies, helping to amplify their voice online. And when I say online, it's everything. It's not just social media. Clearly, lives like we're doing right now, email marketing, Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, all
Yep.
things marketing, anything that's online, including live events, virtual events. I do a lot of virtual signature events for nonprofits, especially and that kind of happened. That was again sort of the accidental part of it because I happened to be one of
Yeah.
those that were on Zoom in 2014 before anybody
Oh,
knew what Zoom was about. And meeting with forcing my clients, forcing them to meet with
we
me
know what
on
you mean.
Zoom. So when COVID happened, they were like, "Oh, we got to move our events online, and we know Zoom, so let's how we're going to make this happen." So that's how I got into that part of the market. So that's what I've been doing and keeping myself busy. But my love is LinkedIn. So no
Oh,
matter who I'm
perfect.
working with, I'm always talking about LinkedIn. I like to share with boards how to like get their branding themselves as a board member and as the organization. Ultimately, all of your sponsors, every corporation is on LinkedIn. So
Yep.
why fight Facebook when you can literally go toe to toe and reach out and find that person that you need to engage with directly, like no
Yeah.
middleman. There's like no 6 degrees of separation. There's maybe two on LinkedIn. No, two, really.
Yep.
Me and you were connected, and then your connections, those are my second connections. So that's my second degree. That's it. You're done.
It is, yeah, it is a much easier way if you think about it than Facebook or Instagram, where that kind of ability to connect with someone that's in your kind of secondary circle is just not there like it is on
Yeah,
LinkedIn. And,
it's
and I
just
do think that's what's so great. Funny, you and I have a little bit in common, which I didn't even realize. I began my foray into the digital world and social media through local campaigns as well, political campaigns. And you guys will have to say it is not easy. There are a lot of restrictions on
now.
campaigns.
But when I started, none of that
Oh,
was there. I mean, all of the stuff
oh,
that
lucky duck.
they added now, like you can't target specific zip codes
Yeah.
or this, that, the other. You could have done all of that and more. Like you could target every dog walker earning 100K who has a child.
Who's
And
that dog walker? Jeez.
yeah, yeah. Oh, in Newton, trust me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, true.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, and
gosh.
has a child in a specific school. I mean, literally that level of targeting, you were able to do them, but they shut all of that down. So sorry, folks, can't do that.
Wow, wow. Yeah, they definitely did. And I work with a lot of like life science and healthcare
Mhm,
companies, and the targeting stinks for that arena as well. So,
mhm.
well, it sounds like you started off during a great era of social media. So, when I was preparing all these interviews, I asked all you beautiful ladies, like, what do you want to talk about for building audiences? And you told me you have a ABC platform, or template that you talk to your clients and followers about in order to build audiences. So let's dive right in on this rainy Friday morning. Tell us all about the ABCs.
Okay, so here's the ABCs, my ABC blueprint that I use with literally everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. This is really easy. And I chose ABC because, of course, obviously the acronym is like easy as
Yeah,
ABC, right? That
exactly.
is definitely easy. It takes work, but it is simple, right? So the first thing is a track, right? So on LinkedIn, everybody, you have a LinkedIn profile and you want to track, you want to think about the bees to the honey. You want to make your profile the
Ooh, I
honey
like that.
so that all the bees come into you, right? So there's like there's so many parts of your profile. There's literally over 22 sections on LinkedIn on your profile that you can literally fill it out. And it's
That's
all
crazy.
searchable. It's all SEO. Google yourself, if you haven't done this in a while, Google yourself and see where your LinkedIn falls in the list. And I will guarantee, I'll give anybody who's listening $10 if your LinkedIn is not the top 3. And the only reason it wouldn't be the top 3 is because you didn't fill out your profile.
Love
Once you
it.
fill out your profile, your LinkedIn, a lot of times, is even above your website if you're an owner, a business owner. It
Yeah,
literally is that top 3. So, and if you think about it, when you meet someone, they don't actually automatically go to your LinkedIn, but what they do
no.
automatically do is Google you. They
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to
that's
they
exactly it.
Google you, right? They're like, well, who's this gal I just met? You know, she's yapping about LinkedIn. Well, let's say, what's the deal? They're gonna Google you. And so, like, if your LinkedIn comes up first, nobody's scrolling down. It's stop the scroll. So that's what the whole thing about Attract is. It's about
Yeah,
stopping the scroll. So
I
you want
love
to have
that.
a good headshot, number one. You want to use that background. So that little gray blue space above your
Yeah,
profile, above your profile, that's gold, like gold.
yeah,
Use
I
that.
agree.
It's your digital billboard. So think
Yeah.
about it like when you're driving down the highway and you see the Nike billboard, just do it. That's what that is for you. It's free real estate. So use it, my friends. You can use it. You can think about, what's happening. Are you promoting an event? It could be promotional. It could be, what are your services? You could list it and have your website prominent right there on the background. Um, if you're
Exactly.
uh, if you're a nonprofit, you could have your mission statement. If you have a signature event coming up, you're doing a fundraiser, you could have all of that, the QR code, all of that on your background. So think about that, using that background as your digital billboard, and don't set it and forget it. It's like, think about changing it over with the seasons.
That's
So
what I was gonna say, and definitely wanna reiterate that for our audience here. Guys, I do talk about that billboard, but one thing that Angela is saying that I really wanna hone in on that's important that I hadn't even thought of is switching that up. As things are changing and you're having an event or, you're sponsoring something, change it up. You're not penalized or you don't have to pay to change it
no.
up, so you might as well. So that's I love that
And
point.
the other reason to change it up, just think about it, going back to the highway thing, eventually after a while you stop noticing the billboards. But as soon as they change them out, you notice them again.
Yeah,
So is that, you just kind of get agnostic to the whole thing. So
it's
that's
so
another thing you
true.
want to do,
Yeah.
to stop the eye, like they'll notice. Like, in fact, one of the people I follow, because I'm all into AI too, um Bedoya. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. Something. The last name is Bedoya. But anyway, she changed her headshot, and it was like the beautiful flowing hair. And I was like, oh, Isabel. Oh
Yeah.
my God, Isabel! I had to send her a message. What a headshot! You
Isn't that so funny that you remembered the headshot? I mean, not that it's bad. I never remember anyone's name, but that's the power right there, you
right,
guys.
right.
That, the image, the visual, the recognition is so important on this platform that people get scared of because they think it's all words. No, like that's a perfect example.
Right.
So now I need to go see Isabel's headshot.
Yeah. So, okay, so those are two
Okay.
things: your profile photo, your background photo. The next thing is that featured section. And that
Yep.
featured section, again, think about it as your digital portfolio. You can save
Yep.
post-it. So if you have a post that's doing well or a post that's not doing so well, you want to get more eyeballs on it, put it in that feature section, because it'll be more prominent and people can interact from it right there. You could also, if you're doing a LinkedIn newsletter, if you put the
Yep.
newsletter in the feature section, the subscribe button is right there. All they got to do is
That's huge.
click in your feature section. So again, another way to promote your newsletter if you're doing it. If you've been in the news, you can share links to anything. You can share links to YouTube. You can share links to panel conversations, anything where you've been in the news, a newspaper article, whatever. you can add this. So there's so many
Yep.
things you can use. And you can literally upload documents. So if you have a good case study, a white paper, whatever that is, you can upload that into the feature section. So folks,
Yeah.
definitely, and as far as I can tell, I don't know if there's a limit on the number of things you can add to the feature. I've never figured that out. So just
Yeah.
and again, if you do load more than 3 items, it'll have that scroll, right? So again, you can reorder and make sure the most prominent 3 things that you want shown and visible are there. They're up front.
Yeah.
So you can actually go in and reorder that as well. Now the
I
next thing,
agree. Yeah.
yep. So the next thing is the headline. And the headline, actually, you'll see the headline before the about section. So the feature section. So I should have talked about it first. It's literally right under your name, right? And by the way, folks, make sure your name is your name. The only other additional that you can add to it, like if you could put MD, MPH, or PhD, like those are fine. MBA, those are fine. Don't put full blown, LiveWire Collaborative, blah, 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 blah. That's against the terms and conditions. Just make sure it is your
Oh,
name. Yes. And actually, and
I
going back
actually
to the
didn't know
profile
that.
photo, don't have a profile photo and use your logo in place of the profile photo. That also is against the terms and conditions. The profile photo must be a photo. Okay, so back to
And
the
if you're
headline.
gonna do your logo, the perfect place is your company page, obviously. That
Well,
yeah, or
or the
the
background. You can put
background. Yep.
logo in the background.
Yep.
Boom. So if you want you can put your logo again, your URL, everything as part of your background. So use that,
That's perfect.
and
That's a great point.
stay on brand, right? So the headline is not your title. And I think what happens with LinkedIn, and it continues to happen when you're setting up that experience section, it asks you if you want your title to be your headline. And actually, it used to default that way.
Yep.
Now you actually have to check the box. You don't ever want to check that box. Your title is not your headline. You are not your title. You are so much more
Mm.
than your title. You are more than a
Oh,
CEO, more than a CFO, more than a CEO, CMO, more than a business owner, more than a partner, more than a
this
principal.
feels like a mindset conversation too. I feel like this is a whole
You're
nother
so
chat.
much
It's
more than
true.
that. So your headline is, again, your opportunity now, but you have the visual above. Now is the opportunity in words to say what you do, who you do it for, and why you're
Yep.
so damn special,
Exactly.
right?
Love it.
So what you do, like I am, blah, 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 like a digital marketing to, amplifying voices, whatever. And then you say, I work with, nonprofits, blah, 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 whoever you work
Yep.
with, who your target is, and or industry. You can put both in there. And then finally, how are you different? How are you
Yeah.
saving lives? What are you doing? Like your organization, if you're a nonprofit, are you saving lives? You can talk about, we help, over 10,000 homeless, find da da da
Yep.
da da. And so if you could put numbers in there, that is great. So like if
Yep.
you're in sales, you better have numbers in your headline. You got to be able to
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about,
I agree.
I'm the top 1% sales earner. I do, 10 billion in sale. Like you better have some numbers. If you're an accountant, anything finance numbers, you better have some numbers in there as well. So,
Numbers
really,
always tell a story.
the secret sauce, tell that story in 220 characters or less.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Every little spot counts on LinkedIn, you guys.
Right. And again, it's all searchable. It's all searchable. So whatever keywords you're using in there, so think about like how when somebody's searching for me, my target audience is searching for me, what are those keywords, terms that
Yep.
they're using, and make sure those are all in your headline as well. And
Exactly.
then now the last part of the attraction is that about section. And
Yep.
literally you got 2,600 characters here. And that's really where you get to go all in. And that's where you
Yep.
have sort of the proof points. So you have examples of your work, 3 bullets about that. Again, you can add that little personal piece about it, as an owner, CEO, if you're on a couple of boards, especially if they're prominent boards, Fortune
Yep.
500 boards, you want to include that and then have that call to action at the end.
Yep.
Because if they actually stay around on your profile and
Oh,
scroll
yes.
down and get to that about section, so they're still there, you still got them, folks. Don't leave them hanging. Have
Yep.
that call to action there. Like, what's that next thing you want them to do? Do you want them to? Who do you want to reach out? Why you want them to reach out? How do you want them to reach out? So those are the big pieces. I mean, like I said, there's over 22 sections, but at a minimum, make sure you have
I
those
agree.
5 done.
I
Right.
love it. Yeah.
Right. So that's the A. A for
Okay,
attraction.
perfect. Love it.
B. B is for build your network. Right.
Okay.
How many times have I spoken with clients and they're not connected to their clients? So number one, connect to the people you know. That's like everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't connect with people I don't know. Well, you don't connect with people you know either.
Yeah.
So make sure you're connected with people that you know as well. And
Yeah.
make sure you connect with everybody. Like, don't, I know it's not Facebook, but still connect with family. Connect with all your friends. Connect with alumni. Oh my God, the alumni
Yeah, that's
day
huge.
is huge, 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 huge. And I'm going to pin that. I'm going to come back to the alumni because there's so much you can do with alumni. And then, again, connect with all your colleagues, connect with people
Yep.
at church. Like if you think about all your networking groups that you're a part of, connect with everybody. Because remember to go back to the initial thing, what I said, the 2 degrees of separation. So your connections are number one. So when you're looking for something, or if you need help with some type of referral, the first
Yeah.
people you're going to talk to are the ones you know, your direct connections, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you start talking to them, their connections, the second level will notice, right? So first work with your first connections, right? Then there are people you just don't know that are, because your profile is so great, they're reaching out to you all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the
Because
time.
just because you don't know them don't mean you should not connect with them. You might want
Right.
to do a little bit of CSI. So you could go on their LinkedIn, and there's the in the drop down, there's the let me look real quick. I don't want to mislead you. There's the, I want to say it's the more button. Let me see real quick. I should have had this up and ready to
Oh,
go.
no, that's okay. And I think one thing that people ask a lot in my trainings, I don't know about you, is, oh, I used to be in a different industry. Should I keep those contacts? I don't want, people I used to work in finance and now I'm a, life coach or something. I don't know about you, but I always say, you know, it's not going to hurt. You never know who those people in the finance industry know that could be your ideal client.
And that's exactly it. You don't know
Yeah,
who's in the other person's network. You have
yeah,
no idea. You don't know whether they're finance. They could have the CMO down the street in healthcare life science that you've been wanting to meet, and that's their neighbor.
yep,
You don't know. So no,
exactly.
don't ever like no, don't ever. So you want to obviously connect with people, like when you're thinking about connecting with colleagues within your industry. But again,
Yep,
the secret is get out of your industry, right? Your skills are
exactly.
transferable, right? Like for especially like people like us, digital marketers. Every industry, there's some level of digital marketing. If you're a
Exactly.
CFO, every company needs finance. So don't just let necessarily, I mean, you do want to niche down, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're networking with people across industries for that very reason. So back to the
Exactly.
CSI. When you
Yeah.
go to somebody's profile, so if first of all, when they connect with you, you do see the little headline. So this is one of the reasons
Yep.
why you should update your headline. So right away, if you're because sometimes you're going to be the one trying to connect with someone, right?
Right.
So they
Exactly.
see the headline right away, right? And if the headline's intriguing, maybe that'll be enough for them to just say okay. Or if you
Exactly.
have someone in common, so again, this is why you want to start building out your network, because then it'll likely, it's just a math problem. Over time, you'll just have more people in common when you have a
Yep.
large network. They're like, oh, she knows so and so. She must be okay. I'm going to connect with her.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. So first of all, so if they don't, if the headline doesn't grab them, if there's nobody in common, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to their profile and you're going to hit that little more button. And in the more button, there says about this profile. When you look in the about this profile, it'll tell you when the person joined LinkedIn.
Yep.
That's important. And if they've updated anything, contact information, profile information, if they're verified, right? And the reason you want to know when they join LinkedIn is because, unfortunately, now that LinkedIn is over 1 billion members, profiles have been hacked. There are bad actors out there, just
There
like on
are.
all
Yep.
the other. We're not immune to it. If you see they joined, a year ago or 2 years ago, yeah, you probably want to nix them. They nix them.
Yep.
If they're selling you right off the bat, I hate that.
Yep.
Just nix them. That's me.
Yep.
They're not trying to get a relationship. No, no. So go look at the pro and if everything, even then, if you want to do the third thing would be is look at the activity, right? See if they're
I always
posting
say that.
hourly.
Yep.
If they never posted that, never posted, just joined LinkedIn, flag, red flag, bing, 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 flashing
Yep.
lights. Ding
Hit
them.
that
No,
report button,
no.
guys.
Yeah,
Report. It's
exactly.
okay to report those
Oh, let me
profiles.
tell you, and it's gotten so bad that now when you go to the report options, there's like 6 different. Like before, it used
Yeah.
to be like a category of 1 or 2. Like LinkedIn has really gone in because it's gotten
Yeah.
crazy on the platform. So
It's
there's a
in a
million
growth
ways. Yeah,
phase. Yeah.
yeah, in that phase. So yeah, definitely, yeah. Look at the activity and then look what they're talking about. Because if they're talking some
Exactly.
craziness on LinkedIn, so even if they are active, if they're active and then they're talking some craziness, you don't want to connect with them either, right?
Yeah.
So that's the
Exactly.
connection. That's kind of when you think about what the connection strategy is. So when I say, do you connect with everyone? Not necessarily, but I want you to do your homework, do a little bit of diligence and figure out
Yeah.
who that person is. Now, here's the secret, folks, the alumni. Now, I
Okay.
went to Boston University, and it just so
Wow.
happens that there's nearly, or I want to say over 400,000 people on LinkedIn that went to BU.
Wow. Oh my
It's
gosh.
crazy. Now, so if you go to, and you could do this. So what I'm going to tell you is the search trick. So if you haven't been paying attention, folks, I need you to stop texting, get off that call. I need you to listen, pay attention right now.
Put down the email.
Stop the email. It's not that important. That email will be there when I finish. I want you to go to your university, start there, but you can do this with any university. You go to the university page on LinkedIn, and you hit that alumni tab. It's right at the top. You hit that alumni tab, and then you can start searching. You can searching and see where they are by, because I'm in Boston, of course, BU's here in Boston. A big chunk of that 400,000 or 500,000 are right here. Right here. I can reach out and touch them. There's someplace right here. Right here in the neighborhood, right? So you can figure out where they are. You can figure out what company they're at. There's like 6 different search
That's
tabs.
huge.
You can figure out like what their titles are, so you can literally search on specific title. So I want to find somebody at, who alumni at BU, who's based in Boston, who works at Google, who is in high tech, IT, or whatever by title,
Hmm.
and a little. So that next thing you know, that 400,000 will whittle down to 10.
Yep.
10 people are searchable. And then you could reach out to them and say, hey, guess what? Hey, Terrier. So you
Yeah,
use that
exactly.
alumni relationship. And let me tell you, it works 100% of the time for me. I would say
That
okay,
is an awesome tip.
99.9% of the time. Because people
That is an
love to
awesome tip.
connect with their alumni. They just do. They pay attention right away. Right
That
away.
is an
So
awesome
use
tip.
your alumni connection. And you know what? Go to the other universities. So if you look, I need some Harvard connection. Let me go look on the Harvard alumni and see who I can find. You could do anything,
Mhm.
any university, and you could do the reverse. You can, when I say the reverse, you can go to a company page and then
Yep.
what they call the people search. So it works exactly the
Yes.
same way. You can go to the company page, go. So if there's a specific company you're targeting off the bat, just go to their page, hit the people. Again, do the location search because it'll
Love
help
that.
you whittle it down real quickly. Do the title search. You can do skill search. You can search 100 ways. There's, like I said, there's like 6 different options on how the search works. And then you'll
Yeah.
get those results, and then you can think about like how you want to at that point reach out to them.
Yeah, that's
So,
huge.
yeah. So that's it. So that's the B. Now the C is converting with content. Because as you know,
Whew.
likes don't pay the bills. So you
Hmm.
gotta be out there, and I want to encourage you to be out
That's
there
huge.
in a consistent manner. And
Yep.
that is the C you need to remember. So convert is a C, one C, but consistency is the other
I love
C.
that.
And you need to be out there in a consistent manner. So if you could only post once a week, that's all I want you to do. I just want you to be consistent.
Hmm.
And then so start there, and if you could build your way, but then try all different type of formats. I want
Yep.
you to experiment with video. I want you to do text. I want you to put images out with your photos. I want you to do the
Love it.
PDF. I find that those document posts work super well.
So
Um,
well. Yeah, we're
so
noticing
well,
that
and
too.
you hear a lot of information because it's in a document. If you have a
Yep.
case study, go try it, guys. Look, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So literally take your best
Exactly.
case study, you could put it in that feature section, but then post about it and talk about it.
Yep.
So that's it. So over time, eventually you'll find out what type of content resonates best, which is one of the reasons why you want to be consistent about it. If you're not consistent, you're going to never get the data. If you post once and say, oh, this never works, that's not a sample size. One is not a sample size.
Exactly.
You have to be out there, and if nothing
All the
else, is
time.
to build up your sample size, and then you can make a decision on what type of content works, what type of format works,
Yep.
and then stuff like this. Experiment with this, like do lives. If you're really one gun ho, if you're already doing a newsletter, I would say if you're already doing a newsletter, absolutely do a LinkedIn version of that newsletter.
Yeah.
Because what LinkedIn does is when you start a newsletter the first time, it sends all of your connections a notification.
That's
Hey,
huge.
Lauren got a newsletter. Why don't you subscribe to her newsletter? Like literally. So you're right. So if you have 2,000 connections, that's 2,000 people getting a notification right off the bat. Not only that, the next person that follows you or connects with you also automatically gets that notification. So as soon as you hit that, they hit that connect button, that notification pops out. Do you want to subscribe to her newsletter?
Yep.
So it is always automatically promoting you in the background. You don't got to do anything.
That's huge.
It's
And you
huge.
guys have all done that. You guys have all received that type of notification before. If you've been on LinkedIn, you have received that notification where it says, do you want to, follow this newsletter? And, none of these things are any sweat off your back. You might as well do it.
Yeah.
That's, and
Yeah.
it's the least you can do to build your network and also someone else's, we're all here for each other. So
Yeah, we are. So my friends, that is the ABC system. A for
I
the
love
traffic,
that.
B for building your audience, and C to collaborate with content, convert with content.
I
That
love that. Now, so I asked the other two ladies, in this whole process of building your audience, do you have any funny or heartwarming stories about connecting with an audience member?
it's so funny because when you obviously one of the first things people do notice when they connect with you is they see right away if you have people in common. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah, for sure.
literally at a conference this past weekend, and I connected with one of the speakers or whatever, and they looked and they said, "Wait a minute, you know so and so? Oh, I went to school with her." And blah, 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 blah. It literally launched into a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like it literally. You just go from being nobody they know to like they feel like they know you because you have someone in common. I just find it sometimes hilarious, like the
I
way
know.
like people just like they're holding like at first, obviously after a talk, everybody's going up to a speaker, right? So and then
Yeah.
and then that's the thing, guys. No matter where you are, pop up that LinkedIn and connect with folks. And I don't know if people realize when you use the app at the search bar at the very top, because it's not obvious. LinkedIn does a lot of stuff that's so counterintuitive. But in the search bar, if you literally just tap your finger in there, you'll see like it looks like a QR code icon. Click on that icon and voila, it opens up and it's your LinkedIn QR code. And people can
Yeah.
then scan it and be, not connected, but then they have to connect the button, but they scan it, puts them right on your profile.
Which
So if
is
you're at
way
a
better than
conference,
a card.
at a networking event, boom, pop that thing open. Oh, are you on LinkedIn? Connect.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, and like honestly, that's the new business card.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is the new business card.
Yeah.
No, this has been wonderful. Any final pieces of advice? I know you work with like a lot of small businesses and really kind of bridging that digital divide between what small businesses need to do and what they can afford. So any final words for our small business friends or somebody that is just a little scared to jump in the water and build their audience?
Well, so I think what overwhelms people, of course, is the reason they're not consistent is they're like, oh my God, what am I gonna write about?
Yep.
What am I gonna write about? Right. So you probably, if you're a business owner, you probably have some kind of content. You probably present it someplace. What I would say is this is where AI is your friend. If you haven't gotten involved in ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini, this is your moment, my friend, because you could literally go
Listen
in
up.
there, not only build out your persona, which a lot of business owners don't take the time to do, but build out your persona. So you let them, figure out who's build out a persona for your ideal
Love that.
client, your ideal audience, your ideal type of sponsor, like whatever it is, because nonprofits, everybody can do this. And then you go in and you literally dump in your bio. Here's all about me, right?
Yep.
And then you say, okay, give me 10 ideas of things I should be writing about, like
Yep.
that my target audience would love. So it'll just pop out all the ideas. And then after that, you can say, okay, well, give me 3 subtopics on this idea.
Love it.
Right? There's like, if you're posting once a month, right? The first week is the idea, and week 2, 3, and 4 are the sub ideas. You're done.
That's it. Yeah. So that's one thing I noticed and I promoted you was, how can you use AI and LinkedIn? And this is exactly it, you guys. It is not asking AI to write everything for you. I think that's what everyone's,
Yeah.
concern is. And how do I sound human like? Those are all different conversations. The way to use AI on LinkedIn is to generate those ideas. And that's what
Ideation.
yeah. That's
Yep.
exactly it. That's
Yep.
awesome. Any other final ways that they can utilize technology like AI on LinkedIn?
I mean, AI is like, I always tell clients, use AI for all the stuff you hate. If you hate doing email marketing, again, I love that Microsoft uses, name their AI Copilot. That is exactly what it is. It is a
Yeah,
Copilot. It's not
I agree.
autopilot. It is a Copilot. So if you already have an email series, maybe it's not hitting, you could upload that email series into, whichever one your favorite one is. Ask it how to make this better, and then it'll give you a whole new version. And
Yep.
and then you could just go, then you could create another version, even like you could reiterate 1,000
Yep.
times if you want, till you really figure out you got the thing honed in, and then you kind of go
Exactly.
on to the next one, right? So if you're doing something that's not working, you could put it in AI and ask it to help you figure out why it's not working, how you need
Yep.
to change it. But again, the only way that will work is if you're very clear in providing the
Yep.
context on who that audience is. That's why I go back and I tell everybody your first step is to build out a persona. And I have a
Yep.
great prompt for that. So if you're interested, DM me. I'm
Ooh, I
happy to
love it.
share it. I'm happy to share it. So
Oh, well, this has been wonderful. Thank you, Angela, so much. You guys, I learned a lot, and I hope you guys did too. I'm sure you did. Please DM Angela if you would like her product or just to learn more about all the ins and outs of LinkedIn and digital marketing. And super excited. Angela actually talked a little bit about how SEO is so connected to LinkedIn, and our next series for April is springing into SEO. So it was a perfect segue. So we have our LPC's LinkedIn SEO partner, Brian S. Reisers, coming to join us for this series and talking about SEO and how it does apply to you, even if you don't think it does.
and it
So
does apply to you. And frankly, that's another way to use AI. Like if you know
exactly.
nothing about it, like what are the SEO terms that I need to be known for my business? Just ask it, it'll
Here
pop
we
that
go.
right there. So like again, all the things you're scared to do or don't like to do, that's what AI is for. But thank you again for inviting me to
Thank
have a look
you
at
so much for coming.
this.
All right, everyone, we will see you in Q2.
Right. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.